At the tender age of 23, a pivotal crossroads in my life emerged, prompting me to embark on a quest in search of a place to call home. The notion of establishing my personal sanctuary led me to delve into the rental market, armed with a budget that wielded significant influence over my choices. Within the confines of this financial framework, I grappled with the decision between a comfortable apartment and a modest, yet charming, small house nestled in my local community. Although an enticing array of apartments beckoned with their allure, an inexplicable force drew me toward the idea of residing in a house. After months of contemplation and exploration, my attention settled upon a delightful two-story abode with a quaint fenced backyard that harmonized seamlessly with my budgetary constraints. The interior, while showcasing a touch of vintage charm, failed to diminish my enthusiasm. As the day of transition arrived, I welcomed the sunrise with eager anticipation, poised to set my plans into motion. Armed with a rented U-Haul, I orchestrated the transfer of my worldly possessions, an assemblage of boxes and cherished furniture items. My transition from living with my parents meant that my inventory remained relatively modest. Prior preparation had compelled me to acquire essential kitchen tools and utensils, but in terms of furniture, I possessed little more than a bed. Approaching 8 a.m., I found myself parked in front of my new abode, a tranquil neighborhood draped in serenity, far removed from the bustling activities that would later fill its streets. With unwavering determination, I flung open the garage doors, initiating the process of moving my belongings from the truck's interior to the welcoming expanse of the living room. To my surprise, this arduous task was accomplished with remarkable efficiency, taking up a mere 2 hours of my time. Despite having the truck at my disposal for the entire day, I decided to leave it parked outside until the following day. Frozen on the staircase, a mattress precariously balanced in my grasp, I found myself immersed in a tense introspection of the sudden noise's origin. Time seemed to stretch in agonizing suspense as I deliberated whether to retreat or press on. Ultimately, I summoned the courage to continue my ascent, placing the cumbersome mattress upon its designated spot with a mixture of trepidation and determination. A thorough inspection of the lower quarters yielded no signs of intrusion or disturbance, yet the disconcerting echoes of that door slam lingered in the air. Frustration mingled with curiosity as I contemplated the potential sources of this unsettling event. Ensuring the security of the premises, I embarked on a systematic process of locking doors, offering a semblance of reassurance to replace the lingering unease. Undaunted by the unsettling episode, I steadfastly concentrated on the task at hand, orchestrating the placement of furniture items, each piece contributing to the unfolding story of my new life. The day unfolded with a steady rhythm of unpacking, organizing, and arranging. By the time the sun dipped below the horizon, I stood amidst my transformed living space, a triumphant sense of accomplishment melding with the anticipation of the days yet to come. As darkness enveloped the world outside, I retired to my bedroom, ready to embrace the solace of sleep. The soft glow of my phone screen provided comforting companionship as I indulged in some late-night browsing. Gradually, the boundaries of consciousness blurred, and I surrendered to the gentle embrace of slumber. Emerging from the depths of slumber, I found myself shrouded in inky darkness, my senses acutely tuned to the subtle nuances of my surroundings. In the stillness, the creaking of floorboards beyond my line of sight resonated, triggering an immediate response from my senses. Swiftly redirecting my gaze, I sought the source of the disturbance, bracing myself for the unknown. The scene that unfolded before my eyes defied logic and reason. The partially ajar bedroom door revealed the silhouette of a figure poised in the doorway, frozen in an eerie moment of stillness. A mere step separated them from the threshold of my sanctuary. In the depths of the darkness, their eyes gleamed with an unsettling chill, devoid of emotion, yet emanating an inexplicable intensity. In the span of a heartbeat, the figure retreated, causing the door to slam shut with a jarring finality. An electric surge of terror jolted me into action, propelling me to reach for my phone and dial the numbers that promised salvation. The voice on the other end echoed my distress, offering a lifeline in the form of rapid response. The ensuing days dissolved into a chaotic sequence of police inquiries and investigative procedures. Yet, the identity of the figure who had shattered the tranquility of my new abode remained tantalizingly elusive. Engaging with the homeowner, a new layer of unsettling information emerged. The previous tenant had been evicted due to unpaid rent, a regrettable departure that left behind a trail of unanswered questions. Their belongings had vanished without a trace, cloaking their existence in a puzzling enigma. The police confirmed this account, revealing scant records and faint trails of information that faded into obscurity. Time, unrelenting in its passage, has since carried me away from that haunting encounter. I severed my connection to that house, for the unsettling sense of unease proved insurmountable. Yet the mysteries that enshrouded that dwelling continue to occupy my thoughts, casting a shadow over my perceptions of safety and normalcy. Was the figure I encountered a vestige of a previous tenant, clinging to the remnants of a life left behind, or did their appearance hold a connection to the disappearance that had erased their predecessor from the annals of existence? The chilling certainty that they harbored an intent to drive me away lingers, a reminder that some enigmas defy resolution, haunting the periphery of our understanding with an unsettling persistence. At the age of 20, I found myself at the pivotal intersection of youth and adulthood, poised to embrace my independence. Just a year earlier, during the warm embrace of a July summer, I embarked on a daring journey, seeking refuge in a cozy apartment. In a vast sea of rental options, this particular one stood out due to its affordability. Despite my stable full-time job, financial constraints tugged at the edges of my aspirations, urging me to leave the familial nest sooner than I had originally planned. On that much-anticipated moving day, the apartment gradually transformed from an empty canvas into a semblance of home, a futon for relaxation, and a modest television for entertainment. These were my humble treasures, and they felt like enough. Money was tight, and the futon served as both my daytime perch and my nighttime sanctuary beneath the expanse of the open sky, enclosed by four walls. That initial night was a mix of excitement and anxiety. Sleep was abruptly interrupted at the ungodly hour of 6 a.m. by persistent knocking. After rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I opened the door to an elderly gentleman, a neighbor living just one door away. We exchanged pleasantries, but his lingering presence hinted at a desire to form deeper connections. The following days stretched into moments of solitude. 3 consecutive days off work provided a luxurious taste of independence. My apartment transformed into a realm of introspection and leisure, bridging the gap between the uncharted waters of autonomy and the comfort of familiar surroundings. As the sun painted the sky with its golden hues, I found myself wrestling with an unsettling incident. While maneuvering my car out of its parking space, my gaze caught a fleeting figure within a neighboring window. The brief eye contact left me with a sense of intrusion, an unmistakable feeling of being watched. An unfamiliar vulnerability began to grow within me, casting a shadow over my newfound haven. Driven by curiosity, I embarked on a quest to uncover the mystery. Counting windows, I deduced that the observer belonged to my floor, the same older man who had visited my doorstep earlier. While there was no overt threat, the breach of privacy fueled a heightened sense of vigilance, erasing the sanctuary I had hoped to establish. Evenings found me on my couch, a refuge where I grappled with my thoughts. As the clock's hands approached 11 p.m., I succumbed to exhaustion and drifted off to sleep. However, my slumber was short-lived. A rhythmic red light emanated from the kitchen, shattering the tranquility. Upon investigation, I found no discernible source for the pulsating light. Fatigue overtook my unease, pushing the oddity to the periphery of my thoughts. With the dawn's arrival, a renewed determination seized me. Guided by daylight, I embarked on a meticulous search that eventually led me to a small camera discreetly tucked between the refrigerator and the wall. The discovery sent shockwaves through my senses, a stark reminder of the intrusion into my private world. The revelation that my sanctuary had been violated left me grappling with a potent mix of anger and vulnerability. Coincidence or fate, the older man returned to my doorstep. Expressing concern for my well-being, he exuded an uneasy aura. His demeanor underwent a subtle shift, culminating in a startling attempt to breach my doorway. Quick reflexes prevented a potential intrusion, prompting an immediate call to the authorities. In a swift turn of events, law enforcement arrived to unravel the mystery. The man's confession exposed his intentions. He had orchestrated the surreptitious placement of the camera. More disturbingly, a pattern emerged as cameras were discovered in 3 other units. The facade of neighborly innocence had crumbled to reveal a calculated invasion of privacy that extended far beyond my own experience. The man's ill-conceived plan to partially confess and evade further scrutiny failed. While his actions might not have directly endangered me, the violation of my sanctuary left an indelible mark on my psyche. The amalgamation of emotions, violation, vulnerability, and unease etched into my being a new awareness of the world around me. In hindsight, this incident serves as a stark reminder of the fragile boundary that separates our sanctuaries from the outside world. The apartment meant to symbolize my liberation had become a stage for discomfort. This encounter blurred the line between trust and caution as I grappled with the delicate balance between autonomy and vulnerability.